My job is over the next 2 to 3 years is to go out and work with all the digital businesses I can find, whether they be in music, film, television, animation, that sort of thing, or whether they're actually involved in what you would kind of more traditionally look at as digital, so things like iPhone apps, web apps, all that sort of fun stuff. My background, though, is, as you see on this slide, I also own a company called Own Brand Media. And basically what we've done over the last couple of years is run a huge number of events for people in the digital media space. You've probably got 90% of the skills that you actually need to go and build a business using social media, using digital media. Who here has a Facebook account? So just really quickly, okay. Now, I'm gonna see who's popular. Keep your hands up. Come on. Right. I'm gonna see who's popular in the room. Who's got more than 100 friends on Facebook? Okay, apart from this poor fellow down the middle, yeah, everybody else is cool, okay? I'm gonna have to pick on you now. All right, so, right, we've all got 100 fans. Who's got 200? Okay, 2,000? Right, 3,000? 4,000? 5,000? 6? You can't have 6. Cuts off at 5. Only person left in the room with their hand up actually runs a business in this space, okay? All right, that's how this works, all right? You take what you're already able to do. Everybody in the room was able to get 100. That's easy enough. You probably know 100 people. Everybody was probably able to get 200 and 300 and so on and so forth. What we're talking about is just taking that up a notch. The question here is, how can we make a living from just having 1,000 people who like what we do and want to buy it? Whether that be your art, your music, the book that you've written, the film that you make, whatever. How can you make a living? But I'm going to start with a little bit of history lesson. I was at the college in the early 90s, and there was the email club. Now, even I wasn't nerdy enough to be in the email club. There was about 5 or 6 people, and all that they did, this is true, they sent emails to Japan, and then people in Japan sent emails back to them. That was it. Email was so exciting and fascinating and cool that they could do that, and once they realized that they could actually go and make friends in digital ways, they kind of got their act together and they invented something called social media, which we all know now, okay? And again, social media is just exactly that. It's just a ton of tools. Tools that you use can connect with people, so whether that be Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, iTunes, YouTube, whatever your flavor is, and tools that you can make stuff. They gave us everything that we needed, you and me and everybody else in this room, to do all of the things that book publishers, record labels, art galleries, all these people traditionally kind of had a lock on this. Writing a book, what would you have to do? You'd have to write a manuscript, or at least an introduction. You'd have to go out and flog it to publisher after publisher after publisher. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You just go and publish your own book and get it out there. But it's changed the numbers. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with some math. If you wanted to publish a book by a book publisher, if that book sold for about 12 quid in the shop, you would think you'd make a couple of pounds on it. It'd be fair to say. 12 quid, you can get a couple of quid out of it. Actually not. If it's selling for 12 quid in the shop, that means the book publisher makes about £6 on it, because obviously the shop's got to make their bit. Your royalty is an average of about 8% of what they sell it for. 41,666 books a year to make 20 grand. The vast majority, something like 95% of books that get published sell less than 1,000 copies. So if you sold 1,000 copies, how much would you make for writing your book? Anybody else? No, about 500 quid? It's hardly worth writing a book, is it? Yeah? Don't worry, I put you on the spot. All right. Listen, if you want to do it now, okay, listen, what you can do is you can go to a site like Lulu. Lulu allows you to basically take the book that you've written, and they'll publish it via their website and sell it via their website. If you do it that way, you end up with 2 quid a book, but you still got to get 10,000 copies done a year to make a living. Self-publish and sell it via your own website. So say you've got a website that gets lots of traffic. You just publish that book. You use Lulu to print it up for you. No problems. You make £6.50 a book, which means you only have to sell 3,000 a year. You don't need 41,666 people who love your book to make a living. You only need 2,000. That's all you need. So what a true fan is basically somebody who buys everything you do, who loves everything you do. If you're into music, they come to the gigs. They'll drive across the country to do it. They'll buy the CD. They'll buy the special encased gold record styly CD. They'll buy the mug, the t-shirt, the hat, whatever you got going, they will buy it from you. If one person in every town in the UK likes your stuff, that's 1,500 people. There's about 1,500 towns in the UK. So if you can just impress one person in every town, then you can make a living. But ultimately, you got to figure out, how am I going to get these? Okay, so they're all over the place. Not just in the UK, not just in every town in the country, but they're also out in Spain, and they're in Australia, and they're in, wherever. Okay, they could be anywhere. So what can you do to actually go get them? The first thing to do is you got to create great stuff. Okay? Everybody's been on YouTube and you've seen a really interesting, cool video. Yeah? And you've said, right, that's cool, I'll pass that on to my friends. Great. That's great stuff. But we've also all been to events, we've also all been to concerts, we've also all been to places where the stuff was pretty crap. If you create crap, people won't share it, people won't talk about it, people won't buy it. If you create great stuff, people do. So that's job one. Second thing is you got to connect with people. In the same way as I talked at the beginning, you've all got Facebook accounts. You've got 100 or 200 people who are happy to connect with you. They're not connecting with you because you've got a great profile picture. They're connecting with you because they want to have conversations. They want to know about you. They want to find out what you're up to. They want to share what they're doing with you. And it's exactly the same thing in business. You've got to share what you're up to. You've got to talk about what you're up to. Most important thing is this. You don't have to wait for anybody to go and do this stuff. Right? It's totally up to you. You can start doing this right now, tomorrow, today, whatever. Don't wait for anybody to give you permission. Pick a platform that works for you, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whatever fits what you're doing, whatever works for you, whatever you like to use yourself. Be creative, get things out there, look for new ways of doing stuff, but don't wait around for somebody in a record label or a publishing company or whatever to say, yeah, you can do it. You don't need their permission anymore. 1,000 people spend 20 quid a year on what you do, you're making 20 grand. That's what you got to focus on. It takes time, you got to repeat it over and over and over again, you got to work at it, but exactly the same way that you make your friends on Facebook, do that, but start bringing your art into it. That's me. Thanks, guys.